Welcome to Expanding Your Search with Brent and Jodibailey. We are growing our circles of connection and knowledge with encouraging conversations and positive communications. Today, Brent and Jodi welcome
the founder of Wigs for Kids and celebrity hairstylist, Jeffrey Paul.
And now, here are your hosts, Brent and Jodibailey.
Hey everybody, welcome to Expanding Your Search on this Friday. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. We have a great show planned for you today. I have got Jeffrey Paul coming out to be with us today. If you don't know who Jeff is, he has for a long time been a hair stylist and a big name in the hair industry. But he's really started to get popular because in the last 40 years, it's like not just recently, he has started something called Wigs for Kids. We're going to be talking about that today, and I'm really excited to be talking to him about that because they have a big event coming up, and we're going to get to that here in just a minute. Right now, let's head over to the control room where Jodi's standing by.
Hey.
And listen, this is a big deal. We've had Jeff on before, and we've known Jeff for a number of years. But they're getting ready to celebrate their 40th anniversary.
They are.
For Wigs for Kids. If you don't know what it is, he's going to be on to explain it. But basically, they help kids that have lost their hair because of chemotherapy or because of natural things. And it's really something to help them in the way that he helps them. It's inspiring story.
It really is inspiring. I mean, it's just, what they do. And the thing about it is it's him and his wife. And I know that they've got other people that work for them.
Yeah, they have team members,
But, their heart, let me tell you, we know them personally. So and we have for years, their heart is literally just so in this. And I don't know how it can't be. But
do you feel like, though, when you're standing next to them that you're just entirely too ugly to be in the same ring? He and his wife are some of the most pretty
beautiful people, yes.
Inside and out. That's true. They're great.
Yes.
They're just awesome folks.
Yes, inside and out.
Honestly, every time I've ever spoken to Jeff, first time I met him, he made me feel like I was extremely important and I was the only person he was talking to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I felt like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I was just like, oh my God. You and your wife are stunning to look at. Please don't look at me. I'm hideous.
Don't look at me. Yeah, I'm hideous.
So they are extremely awesome people, and I can't wait to roll them out here. Jeff's been on the show when we were in the throes of COVID.
Yes.
And talked about some of the things that they're doing. But this is a big one, 40-year anniversary this year. So congratulations.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
All right. So what's going on around the country?
Well, you know what? Today is National Nut Day. You're a nut, I'm a nut. Oh, Lord. Exactly.
So what does that mean? Nuts. What does that mean? Is it like...
it's, whatever kind of nuts you like. Almonds. I know that you
big
really
almond
like
fan
almonds.
Right here. Big almond fan.
Sometimes we like cashews.
The reason I choose almonds over cashews obviously taste way better.
Yes, they do. But
they have like twice as much fat.
Exactly.
And people are starting to realize that. If you notice, when you go into the store, for years it was Planters, and then they had peanuts, and then the honey roasted peanuts and cashews.
Yep.
And then they would occasionally throw in the mixed nuts.
Right.
But now when you go in, people are starting to realize the health benefits of almonds.
Yes.
So there's like 10 bags of flavored almonds up there.
Yes, I was going to say flavored. There are lots of different flavors.
Yeah.
And they're good. I'm not much of an almond fan, but you get a good flavor.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Too.
So it's healthy.
They help you feel. If you eat 7 to 10 almonds before you eat, 30 minutes before you eat, you won't eat as much.
You won't eat as much, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say, there are plenty of days when we're doing, just things back to back, and so we might grab a bag of almonds.
Almonds,
bring them with
Regularly.
us. And I was going to say every day.
Yeah.
So in fact, I think I bought some last night. Just to
And they're gone
just to
today.
restock,
They're
and they're gone already.
They're gone.
So,
Yeah, they're gone.
but yeah, just whatever kind of nut you like.
All right, awesome.
ahead.
Happy Nut Day.
Today is also National Make a Dog's Day.
Oh wow! What do we do to make a dog's
Well,
day?
there's several different things.
Give
we
him
can
some
do.
bacon. I mean, what do we do?
Bacon.
Yes.
And then he goes bacon, bacon, bacon. Anyway, so what we do is make them really feel loved. A lot of times, you have the two extremes. I know people who take their dogs with them everywhere,
Yeah.
and dogs are everything. And my sister's probably gonna be like, yeah, if you want to go anywhere, you have to get a dog sitter, and
Yep.
it can. But today's a day that if you don't normally take your dog on a walk or take your dog somewhere, take your dog with you, unless it's a gigantic dog that you can't necessarily take into
That's right.
any kind of a store.
Unless
or
they're
whatever.
trained for it.
Right. But
Like I just can't imagine my parents taking Max, who's their Rottweiler that weighs
Rottweiler.
about 100 pounds. I
Yeah.
can't imagine them taking him to a store with them.
no.
Maybe Lowe's, because Lowe's
Well,
is dog
Lowe's,
friendly.
yeah, I was going to say Lowe's is
But
dog
I
friendly.
can't imagine them taking him, to the mall or something like some folks do.
Well, yeah, I know. And actually, Vinny, our dog.
Yes, our
will,
little Jack Parson
Fatty
Russell.
Russell.
Yeah, and he's a fatty.
Yes, he is. We've taken him a lot of places, but he gets,
He sees other dogs and,
and he
wants
freaks out.
to. You
He
think
wants to
he's
play.
being ferocious, but
Yeah.
he wants to get over there and smell them and say hi.
yeah, and
I've
yeah.
never seen him go after another dog. He's always
No.
barking like crazy.
Yeah.
Then he gets over there and sniffs, and it's like hello.
Hi, yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of Vinny, another thing that you can do today is go to a shelter and adopt.
Yep.
Or
Highly encouraging.
if you're not in a place to adopt a doggy yet, then you just don't take your kids with you because
Yeah, they'll
you'll
talk
walk
you
out
right
with a
into
dog.
it. Or two.
Or two, exactly, which is what happened to us. But go visit the dogs. I mean, play with them. Some shelters will allow you to do that. And I know our kids really like to go to the pet store and play with the pets.
I'm
that they
at a
allow.
place that because we were so happy with Rosie and Vinny.
Yeah.
I'm at a place that I would go to a shelter first.
Yes. Yeah.
To see if anything there appeals to us first, because Vinny and Rosie were both. Rosie was like a fetch machine.
Yes.
You could throw
she
it, she'd
was.
bring it back.
She'd
Throw
bring
it,
it
you'd
right
bring
back.
it back.
Yeah.
Throw it, bring it back. And she'd never get tired of that. You would get tired of it before she would.
Right.
And then Vinny is just a ball of. He is Peyton in dog form.
Exactly.
He's just a buzzsaw. But we love dogs and agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. So
Yeah. Make a dog's day today.
make it. All right.
Yeah.
What else?
And the last thing, I almost said there was no food, but no, we had the nuts. National Color Day. National Color Day. It focuses on so many different colors. Yes, you are
I'm wearing
celebrating.
navy. It doesn't
I'm
look
not.
it on the screen. This is navy. Looks black. But it's
Yeah, it does look
navy
black.
and whatever this is, fluorescent yellow.
Yes, it's
I'm
bright
trying- I'm
yellow.
trying
You're
something.
trying, but do you understand? Like what I'm reading is that colors can change a mood of a person.
It's
you know?
true.
It's not just about like.
I mean, mostly the depressed people are wearing black all the time.
Yeah. Oh, great. I guess I'm depressed today.
You
I got a
hardly
little
ever wear
color.
black, though.
Yeah, I wear pink a lot,
Yeah.
as people can see. But I used to wear black a lot, not because I was depressed, but
'Cause it
because
was
it's
fashionable.
slimming. Yes, and it's fashionable, right?
Yes.
But there are a lot of people that are actually colorblind, and that's really sad. And they struggle with being able to distinguish colors or see colors at all. They just see black
Yeah.
and white. So, and it says, without color, we would nearly be blind. I'm sure, I guess if you didn't know any better, if you were born colorblind.
Have you seen
wouldn't
the
really know.
videos of the people getting those the glasses that
Yes.
allow them to see color for the first time?
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I mean, like the 60-some-year-old man standing on his front porch seeing
Yeah.
the blue sky for the first time
Yeah, it's
in his
amazing, right?
60-some-year-old life, and he starts to cry.
Yeah.
It's really is something.
Yeah.
It really is. So
Yeah. So celebrate the colors. Wear your favorite bright color today, as Brent is.
all right.
I'll go home and change into a colorful something.
All right, let me get you some food news.
Come on the food news.
Yeah, well, it's sort of food news. Do you know what Saucony is, or Saucony, the shoe company? Saucony.
No, yeah.
They make running shoes.
Yeah.
Very expensive running shoes.
They are, yeah.
They are having their 30th anniversary of the Shadow 6000, which is their flagship running shoe.
Uh-huh.
If you've never had a pair of Saucony shoes on, you need to try it. They are probably some of the most comfortable shoes I ever owned in my life. They are very, very, very comfortable.
Don't they sell them in the shoe store at
Disney Springs, yes, but there's also like the U-Clouds and other stuff like that too.
Yeah, right.
They are the first ones though. So they have come out with a food fight color scheme for their 30th anniversary.
Huh.
And each pair is colored in a different, like if you were having a food fight. So there's some of them that are like ketchup and mustard. Some of them are like pickles and relish and carrots and there's
kind of complimentary.
Yeah, a lot of things. They're very colorful. I'm looking at them right here. So that's a happy anniversary to that. The only problem with it is they're $178 a pair.
Well, right, exactly. But they're awfully comfortable.
Yeah. All right. So we continue to see crossover news.
Yeah.
Where, I know that we said early that KFC has always been in the chicken sandwich business. But now they're getting into the barbecue. All right. So they're doing a barbecue sandwich, and it's a little bit different. 2 top buns. So top bun on top, top bun on the bottom.
Oh, okay. All right. That's it.
But it looks amazing. My gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, the barbecue sauces, but it's called the Messy Extreme.
The messy
Extreme.
that would be. It'd be very messy.
All right.
But I mean, that kind of goes along. I mean, it's chicken and it's KFC. That it's about time.
It does.
I guess.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know why this is back in the news. We already knew about this. IHOP is serving up Reese's Pieces pancakes.
Yeah, we already knew about that.
But for this week, the rest of this week, they've started something in addition to the Reese's Pieces pancakes, which is they're acting like they haven't said this yet, but we actually went and tried them. They weren't that good. They're having also something called a mummy burrito.
Okay, so what's in it?
That's what I'm looking to see. A mummy burrito.
Mummy burrito.
The new mummy burrito is scrambled eggs, hickory smoked bacon, pork sausage, diced ham, shredded jack, and cheddar cheeses, hash browns, avocados, poblano queso, and sour cream. There's a lot in there.
There's a lot. I don't know.
It's the way it's wrapped.
Yeah.
They're making it look like a mummy for the Halloween holiday.
Well, that's interesting and that's creative, but yeah, I don't think I'll try it.
I probably won't. All right, well, that's enough food news for today. I'm really excited to have Jeffrey Paul here, so let's jump in right now and expand your search. My guest today is Jeffrey Paul. His career has been a journey of beauty for over 30 years, from training in Italy, styling hair for magazines, runway models, and celebrities. Something happened one day that would transform his whole career and his life forever. We're going to get to that part of the story in just a minute, but his mission has become very clear because he is now one of the largest and best, in my opinion, replacement hair systems for people that are going through chemotherapy or their hair has started to thin naturally. Jeffrey has been on the show before. He's a great friend of our family, and we just love listening to him on his podcast and other things that he's got going on. And I'm so glad to have him back with us today. Please welcome back Jeffrey Paul, everybody. Hey, Jeff, how are you?
Hey, Brett, it's good to see you again. Thank you for having me on.
I'm so excited to have you on. I know that the last time we talked, we were kind of suffering through COVID together, but that seemed like it was a real launch pad for you. You started a podcast and some other things. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. You get idle time. You got to do something with it, obviously. But yeah, we started Hearing God's Voice podcast with Jeffrey Paul, and it's incredible. We just today launched Jordan Rayner and his new book, Redeeming Your Time. And that was some of the incredible insights that he had for Jesus's way of managing time. It's just incredible, best-selling book, I think, overnight. But there's been some wonderful people, wonderful stories. And every week we just post a new one each week. Then we opened up a new YouTube channel for our Wigs for Kids organization, telling stories about children all over the country and all over the world donating their hair, getting hair from, Wigs for Kids, and providing them the ability to look themselves and live their lives with beauty inside and out. So it's been an exciting 24 months. It really has.
It sounds like it. Now, for those of our viewers who are unfamiliar with what Wigs for Kids is, let's explain that whole story, because it is a really heart-touching story.
Well, like you said, 40 years ago, believe it or not, I probably was 12 years at that time, but 40 years ago, I was doing celebrities, the President of the United States hair, runway models, New York, Hollywood, Italy. I mean, I was at the top of my game. I was what a hairdresser dreams to be, driving a Corvette, living in a penthouse. I mean, it was just absolutely incredible. And I found the Lord. And when I found the Lord, it just upside down turned my life. He just captured me. But I didn't know what I was going to do with that. And my little niece, Laura, came running into my 6,000 square foot spa, crying tears down her eyes and cheeks. And she says, Uncle Jeff, and these were the words that changed my life and my career forever. She says, Uncle Jeff, don't let me go without hair. And I didn't know what she was talking about. I thought she was, somebody made fun of her about her hair. Her father walks around the corner, Brent, and says to me, with his tears in his eyes, they just diagnosed her with leukemia. And there is, though, good news. There's a new drug that just came out called chemotherapy, but the side effect is hair loss. And as he got those words out of his mouth, she jumped in my lap and said, Uncle Jeff, promise me, I want to have hair for my gymnastic competition. And promise me I'll go with hair, because they said it would fall out at the same time. And I said, I promise. And when you promise a child anything, and you have children, and I know how you are, you want to do everything you possibly can to keep that promise.
Yeah.
But 40 years ago, there wasn't a wig for a child. There wasn't something that would stay on through the apparatus. Well, we ended up building it, because I used my name and my influence to be able to get the manufacturers to be able to produce it. And we got it, but we got it the night before the competition. So we cut her into this short, cute little look and sent her on her way. And I said to my wife, I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow morning, because it's just going to be a challenge. We're going to sit in the audience. We sat there the next morning and just, holding on to, every prayer we could pray. Stay on her head, Lord, stay on her head. She goes through all the apparatus. And as she comes down on the last one, Brent, she gives me a thumbs up from the audience. I'm crying. And I hear God's voice say to me, my son, I have given you a talent to make beautiful people beautiful. Now I'm going to give you the talent and gift, an opportunity to make beautiful people inside and out.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't know that much what that meant, because I was just new in my spiritual walk. Literally less than 60 days later, my 6,000 square foot salon was wiped out by sewage, act of God, because of a storm, no insurance. And I had everything I could borrow or get into this, lost everything, helped all my staff get jobs, and ended up opening up, as my wife and I decided, as we were being led by the Lord, to open up a hair replacement center. Now, that's 40 years ago. There wasn't such a thing. And chemotherapy just came out. Well, that was the start of Wigs for Kids. We decided to take every child that we hear about or needed a wig, whether it was cancer, whether it was alopecia, whether it was a trichotillomania, which is, they pulled their hair out, or burns, and for free, we would provide them with hair to give them that look back. So that was the beginning of Wigs for Kids, and there's just so much that's taken place, stories and everything else that have just warmed my heart across the United States.
And so now we're approaching a 40-year anniversary, and you've just touched kids all over the world with this. It's really a ministry. It's just helping people where they are. I know that the story of your niece is such an impactful one, but is there any that maybe you weren't necessarily related to, or something that would just really stands out in those 40 years? I know we could probably tell stories all day, but one in particular that you can remember that really was special?
Well, I have two stories, and it'll be a part of the storylines. I'm going to break it on your news on your program today. There's a story about a young girl, Annie. And Annie started with us when she was in second grade. She had alopecia, spot here, spot here. They tried to hide it, and it was devastating. People were making fun of her in school. She was just going through trauma. She came to us because her mom had gone through cancer and had came to my private practice for hair replacement. And she came to us and we fell in love. I adopted because I had 3 sons. I adopted her as my daughter. I just said, but I do that with almost all my kids that I see. But on top of that, we went through the process of taking her through the hair replacement. She went through then middle school, and she went through high school, then she went through college, and then she got a career, and then she got marketing. She's going to tell her whole story on how today she has found that her relationship of being able to be beautiful inside and out has given her the ability to not only sustain going through, middle school and high school and all the things that she was going through, but to truly be stronger than ever before. I mean, it's just like James once says, through your trials and tribulations, if you persevere, in our case, if you come to Wigs for Kids, you will mature and lack nothing. And that's what she has. Her story is so powerful.
Yeah.
I don't want to take all the pizzazz out of it. The other side is the big part of our ponytails, because ponytails is 25% of the value of what we need for a hair replacement for a child, because the hair pieces that we make cost $1,800 to manufacture, hand tie, and build for them. And it would cost $36,000 to $4,000 for them to buy in a normal center, which we give them completely free, including the products and brushes and everything else they need. But this little girl that came in to me to tell me the story that she was in a wheelchair. She could barely do much for herself. I think she had MS, and her mom moves her around and does everything. Beautiful blonde hair, like 14, 16 inches of hair. And her mom says to me, Jeffrey, we want you to cut her ponytails because she wants to donate it to Wigs for Kids. And she wanted to let me know the story. I was on TV, and I told about the little girl that needed hair and everything else. And she started screaming from the room that she was watching the TV in. And the mom comes running in, thinking she fell out of the wheelchair, didn't know what had happened. And the little girl looks up to her, and her name is Christy. And she said, Mom, I now know what I can do for others because I can't do anything and everybody else does something for me. I can grow my hair for Wigs for Kids. Oh, she will be cutting her hair for the 11th time.
Wow.
Over 15 inches on our event on Saturday, October 23rd.
All right,
Yep.
So let's get to the event now. I know this is the 40th year for it. It's like a reunion, anniversary, and you're having a live event that is going to be kind of a celebration and stories over these 40 years. Tell us about the event.
It's going to be 60 minutes of inspiration packed. It may slide over to 90 minutes, but nonetheless, it's a live stream, and we have live people there. So we have a panel of virtual storylines from all over the country and outside of the country. And we have people going to tell their stories. We're going to share everything from ponytail stories to hair loss of a cancer child, the parents, what they go through. They have a child like this. They've given health and wellness and everything they could give them, but they couldn't give them back here, and Wigs for Kids provides that for them. And we're going to have kids there that have gone through fundraising. One's a hockey player, young boy who brought in $2,300 in his ability to cut his 18 inches of hair because he grew up for 3 years for Wigs for Kids.
Wow.
So it's going to be an impactful level. Plus, I've got a couple of celebrities who are going to be co-hosting with me. And it's interesting because we're going to show a little education of what goes behind that ponytail when it comes in and what goes into making a wig and the value of that. And then we've got some surprises that we're not going to reveal even on your show yet.
Can you at least give us a sneak peek of who the celebrities are?
Yeah. Robin Svoboda is just one of the top TV radio. She did for a long time Fish Radio. Her and I traveled with Fish Radio to do Christian cruises and that type of thing. It was just She's just an incredible lady. Just recently, Brent, she was diagnosed with cancer. In fact, they started the chemo, and as soon as I heard that, I called her up and said, where to get your hair? And she laughed because she's almost like a comedian. She's just so vibrant in her spiritual realm. And it was interesting because she, way back when I released my book, Learning to Hear the Voice of God and Journaling, she was there giving her testimony on how that journaling process that we taught her helped her get through a marriage difficulty and her life in a career that was so successful. She was married to one of the top punters in the football NFL league. But she's going to be my co-host there. But she called and said, I'm going to go through chemotherapy. And so she went through chemotherapy, the first treatment 2 weeks ago, and she almost dies.
Oh my gosh.
She had a reaction that has not happened for University Hospital, they said, ever. And when she came into the emergency room, they said that her sodium level was the level of someone who was already dead. Supernaturally, she gets out, gets out of that intensive care 3 days later. She calls me and says, well, you don't have to, now this is her humor, you don't have to do my hair for my funeral, but you do have to do my hair for the show. So Robin Simone is going to just entertain her. She's an entertainment just on herself. And we've got an NHL player that's going to be challenged in regards to growing his hair longer, like the young boy that I just described. So it's just going to, and there's always those surprises that show up at these types of events for us, because it's just, people are just wonderful that come out and help kids.
That's so awesome, Jeff. Now, I know that we've also, in the midst of this, had a challenge put forth, I guess is the right word, where you're raising funds, because it even though you're blessing these kids, it does still cost money to make this happen. I know that we're trying to raise some money here, so tell us what that's all about, and what's the challenge?
Our challenge is 40-40, which is 40 years. We're looking for $40,000. And we are looking that people can donate very easily. They can donate by texting, donate to 833-443-0780. Making it that easy. Or they can go to our site to donate. But in turn, if it's $1, if it's $100,000, it doesn't make a difference. We have a gift to give back, even though the gift is giving an impact in the life. And, that's many times plenty of reward. We've created a beautiful, beautiful tote bag with the Wigs for Kids logo with the 3 kids on it. And then for those that actually want to sponsor a child for $1,800 over one gift or over 12 months, we have a beautiful, comforting blanket with the logo. So that every time they put it around, they're recognizing that they've made a difference and an impact in a child's life.
And so all of the funds that are collected through this go to manufacturing and harvesting, I guess is I don't know if that's the right word or not, but the hair for these kids. And again, over 40 years of this, folks. He's been doing this for a long time. We're going to put some information up on the screen right now. If you'd like to get involved in this, or at least follow Jeff on the journey of this, you can go up here on the screen right now, and you can follow along, and you can also, I'm sure, donate. There it is right there, wigsforkids.org. You can follow along on Facebook at Support Wigs for Kids, and on YouTube, Wigs for Kids videos. Now, don't forget, it's October the 23rd at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. If you'd like to donate for the 40 for 40 gift of giving, you can go to wigsforkidsday.donordrive.com. And if you do that, you can actually sow some seed into a kid's life that desperately needs it. Jeff, we wish you nothing but the best of luck. We're going to be making a contribution towards it as well. We love you and support. I'm just so happy that we were able to work this out today to get this word out for you.
You are a blessing. Tell Jody I throw her a kiss from behind the scenes over there, and to all your family. They've always been a support to us, and I just thank you. I thank you for the last minute grabbing and allowing us to take the opportunity to share this message.
It's our pleasure, and we wish you nothing but the best for the event. Have a great rest of your day. That's Jeffrey Paul, everybody, and now let's stop for directions. People in need. The Bible tells us that these people will always be here. So what do? Well, according to this scripture, we are supposed to give generously to them and do so without a grudging heart. Then, because of this, the Lord your God will bless you in all of your work and in everything that you put your hand to. When you hear of a ministry like Wigs for Kids, we can see that they have a wonderful track record of making the most of every opportunity to live out this scripture. The question before us today is, are you? Many of us walk through our lives with our own needs that stare us right in the face every day. Questions like, do I want to go fill up with gas, or should I pay my phone bill? Do I want to eat out, or do I need to go buy groceries? These needs are real, They're legitimate. But at what place do we choose to completely ignore everyone else in need? In spite of sometimes not having enough or to live as comfortable as we wish, we can still be a blessing. Jesus said that if you give, it will be given back to you. The scripture that we read in the Old Testament says that when you give generously to others, God will bless you in all of the work of your hand and everything that you put your hand to. I want to encourage you today. Work this idea of becoming a blessing to others into your daily routine. Add this idea of giving to someone in desperate need into your belief system. And in spite of our own shortcomings and our own short supply, when you do this, you can watch God bless you in ways that you can't imagine. It's the limitless ways that God can bless you that gets opened up to you when you help someone like the Wigs for Kids, when you help someone at a holiday feeding program, when you help at a homeless shelter, or even if you give to disease awareness and their fundraising drives. Giving matters, not just in the person that you're giving to's life, but also it becomes a great impact on your life daily. Make a difference today. Give whatever you can and watch God bless everybody involved, including you. That's going to wrap it up for our show today. I'm so grateful to Jeffrey Paul for coming on and telling us about his extremely awesome program that's been blessing kids for over 40 years. Don't forget his live event is going to be coming up on the 23rd. So don't forget to get involved in that. Until next time, I want to thank Jody for a great job over there in the control room for making another great show happen. Until next week, have a great weekend, and we hope we helped you expand your search today. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @expandingyoursearch on Facebook and Instagram and @expandingsearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We're available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Take some time today to expand your search and stop for directions.